Good morning. Hang on. Hang on. Hey, that's better. Good morning again. It's Monday, June 19th, 2023. Juneteenth. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Dragon Sword. We have the next couple of moves in Dragon Sword, and I'm going to go ahead and keep going for this week. I have several things that I've been doing, am doing, need to get done, have to pay attention to. Oh boy. And so some of that is happening, some of it has already happened, and some of it still needs to happen. So what am I talking about? Last week, right, like Friday, last week, I launched the dramatic version of a new podcast, and I'm just really excited about that. I've been working on the website, on the materials that go with that, and I spent Saturday and Sunday, just this last weekend, doing edits to the first book that I have for the science fiction series that I've been working on. And I'm this close. I have one more round of final edits that I'm going to do. I don't expect to make too many changes, just a few little things before I publish it. And that is happening in August of this year. It might even happen in July of this year. Depends on how quickly I can get the funds together to update my copyright and add some of the images that I need to add to that copyright. So, fingers crossed. I thought it was going to be till July when I had it ready. It's not. It's almost ready right now. So that is surprising, and it's been a pretty amazing ride so far, and it's only getting better. So with that in mind, let's get started with Dragon Sword. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Open the arms. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Hands circle to the front. And back around to both sides. Up along the center line. And stretch out. Bend the knees. And again. And one more time. Fingertips reach up. Elbows drop down, wrists, hands return to your sides. Alright, so all of this other stuff that I'm doing has bearing on what I'm doing here. I'm going to tie that together. Because I'm only one person. And so if I'm working on this thing over here, which is what I was doing all weekend, I can't be working on this other thing over here, which is what I was not doing this weekend. Alright, so some of the classes, some of the updates that I know I need to get done, I didn't do because I was doing this other thing over here. And I want to point that out for two reasons. One, I'm really going to promote the book. I'm already promoting the book and the story and the drama, and I would like it to go far. I would like it to go further than I know how to help make it go. So, that's an invitation. The effort and the work that I put toward that is fundamentally my practice. It's what I do. It's part of who I am. Just the same as my standing here and teaching sword is what I do. It's part of who I am. That context, that, nah, I wasn't just sitting around not doing anything, goofing off. Yeah, I would like to have been, sort of, but I wasn't. That, no, I was working. That distinction makes so much difference when we start looking at what practice means. So, I want to make something happen. What do I need to do in order to make it happen? What are the things that have to take place in order for this to happen? Long list, short list, it depends. What are the things that have to take place in order for someone to practice sword? You have to learn some fundamentals with the sword, learn some fundamentals with the movements, and then you have to work on them, and you keep doing it, and then you do a little bit more, and then you do a little bit more. And that process of learning and refining and making it yours and developing it and then using it, being able to present something, right? Just stand up and present something. I can stand up and I can do this. That's using. Being able to use it for your benefit. And so my benefit from practice is refining my physical movement, refining my mental clarity, refining my balance, placement, strength, whole long list of all the things that I pay attention to in practice. And extending that through teaching and through the sword, right? So that sense of what am I doing? How am I developing my skills? Because it's not just the sword. It's not just the arts that are my skills. The same as whatever you're practicing is in addition to, those skills are in addition to whatever else it is you do. That's who you are. Understanding that all fits together, that it's all part of that whole person, makes so much difference in how we practice, in what we're paying attention to, and in the ways that we look at that continual practice that goes on for years, not weeks, months, years, right? That's a different, pardon my cliche, but it is a different level to think about. I've been doing this for 30 years versus I've been doing this for the last 3 weeks, right? there are opportunities, right? I'm going to do this again. Wait a minute. Almost came up on the left side. The right foot comes up. Right? This one, the right foot comes up. So I'm here. All right. Here. Step up and in. A couple of things that I tend to do. Right? I like to spin. I do. I like to spin. It doesn't need to be there. The sword has to turn. But, so as we step, right here, step out, I'm here, I can come here, same move, it's exactly the same move. Up, right here, and out. Like that small turn, right? So I'm on my right, that's all I need to do. Excuse me, before I extend. Now, I have to turn the sword. I can't, no. I can do other things in this position, but that extension, it's here. Here, not here. Okay? That difference, that distinction, where's my hand, right? And not really here. I'm going to slice out this way for this position. I'm going to slice up this way for this position. This goes out forward. This goes forward. It could also go up. That basic reference for which position is my hand for what kind of movement, right? I'm just standing here with this, right? So here, what am I going to do with this? What are my opportunities? What could I do with this? What can I do with this? But this. And this. If we think about where can I apply force, how can I direct where that force is going, the kinds of movements that we do reinforce. That wasn't intentional, but I'll take it. Reinforce that sense of where and what am I doing. So, right? No. Up. And out. Alright? Up. And out. Both movements are fundamentally the same. Up. Out. Come up. Drop it down. All the way around and out. Right? Blade comes all the way down. Back to the hip and out. It doesn't need to. If I'm already here, why am I bringing this back? I might have a reason for that, right? This leg is up. I might need to move something out of the way before I come back, right? that sense of what might be possible, what might I be doing, and where does the requirement for the movement fall? In making it bigger, in making it smaller. There's still that sense from here, right foot's up, right, from here. I have to make this turn. Goes to the outside, and then in. And then in. Either one, yeah, this smaller one has more finesse and is a little bit more on the fillet side, right? This really it focuses on this segment of the sword. As we come up, that full slice, and this turn around the tip to extend forward. That twist here, go the other side. Right? Up. Big circle, little circle, tiny circle. The idea behind that sense of what am I actually doing in this movement? What might I be doing in this movement? And where does that fall on the list of potential applications? Right? Is there something that resembles a potential application that goes behind this? Well, yeah, absolutely. But that question is something that we need to ask. Because if there's not, and I talked about this repeatedly, if there's not intent, if there's not balance and placement and purpose and clarity that whatever is being done has some meaning, then it's, I don't know, something else. And that martial aspect is part of that meaning. Okay, so if I'm here, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. I don't. What am I doing? I don't know. Fingers are open, the leg's in a bad position, the sword's just kind of hanging out there. Alright? Seriously. Now, what might I be doing? Oh. There is placement, intent, purpose, and there is a sense that the potential for something exists. It's not an empty movement. This is an empty movement, right? It's empty. There's nothing there. This is not. Not empty. That combination of knowing this is empty, what do I need to do in the move so that it's not empty? What am I supposed to be paying attention to? What's my intent? What am I trying to do, right? I talked about this before. As this comes up and over, right? This is head, knee, throat, the side, step up and under, turn it, and step in. As we're moving, right? I'm going slow for this. I'll turn around and go the other way in just a second. As we're moving, we need to be paying attention to where we are in space, where we're going, where we came from, and what, again, this idea, what am I doing with the sword? What might I be doing with the sword? Right? So as I step out, sorry. Here. Right. Around. In. And I did the full circle. Bring it around and in. Smaller circle, right? Right here. Remember those exercises that I taught at the very beginning? Extend the sword, little circle. We can use it now, right? That's it. All right, as we step through, paying attention to the inside connection, the outside connection. What am I trying to do? What am I thinking about? How did I get there? Where am I going? Again, with that, right? That sense of the circle has to be there. It is connected to the lower Tantian. I'm not going to talk about that so much right now. I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow. That turn comes from the lower Tantian. Comes from here. Using the waist, connecting. Which way am I going? I can go either way, right? From here, outside to come in, right? I'm here, the outside, up and in. Outside. So from here, circle, slice out, come around to come up, back around, in. Those circles that we describe with the tip of the blade come from the lower dantian. It's the tip of the whip that we see out here. We don't see what happens through the whole body as that tip extends outward. in some forms, right? The I don't know if you can see it on here. As I pick up the blade, there's a little vibration on the end. This is a heavier blade. It's not the paper blade, so that vibration is me. That it's an old sword, and that sense that the effort, the strength, the internal energy, Jing, and the Qi are all extended through the sword, or whatever it is that you happen to have, is so essential to all of our practice. Those inner and outer connections make all the difference in how effective the movement could be, as well as how comfortable we can be with it. And that's really part of that essential goal in practice, that whatever we're doing, we want to be comfortable with it. If you're going to keep doing it, you have to like it, right? If you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to do it. So you have to like it, and you have to be comfortable with it. The more, for me, the more depth, the more effort, really, the more effort that I have to put towards what I'm doing, the more involved I have to be with what I'm doing. So the more things that I need to pay attention to, the more opportunities there are for me to engage my curiosity, to look at things in a different way. I'm going to keep practicing that. If I just got to keep learning to say the same thing over and over and over, no, I'm not going to keep practicing it. And what I have found is that everything that I practice keeps giving. The more I work at it, the more I discover I could learn. And that potential is very appealing to me. All right, so with that in mind, I have this other new thing that I'm starting. I'm going to stop for today. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to work on this set. I will again go back to looking and working on my classes, and I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. It's just a question of how much time it's going to take me and when it's going to be done. But it's going to get done, and it's going to be done in the next, I'm going to go weeks, maybe days. I appreciate everyone who's watching my classes. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, Wudang Qigong.